My son's birthday party. My brother-in-law announced he was proposing to his girlfriend and pulled out a ring, completely stealing the moment until my son started crying. It was supposed to be Kyle's 8th birthday. We had Spider-Man decorations everywhere, 20 kids running around our backyard, and I'd spent 2 days baking a cake shaped like a web. My husband Jake was manning the grill, and everything was perfect until my brother-in-law Trevor showed up late with his girlfriend Amanda. Trevor's always been the type to make everything about himself. At my wedding, he spent the whole reception talking about his new car. At Christmas, he announced he was starting a podcast right when we were about to open presents. But this time felt different. He had this weird energy, kept checking his pocket, and Amanda looked nervous. We were about to sing happy birthday. Kyle was standing in front of his cake, eyes huge with excitement. All his friends gathered around with their phones out to record. I had the lighter ready. Then Trevor cleared his throat really loud. "Hey everyone, can I have your attention for a second?" he said, stepping right in front of Kyle. Jake looked at me with this "what is he doing" face. I shrugged, thinking maybe he wanted to make a quick toast or something. Trevor pulled Amanda forward. "So, I know we're here for Kyle's birthday, and happy birthday, buddy," he said, barely glancing at my son. "But I've been waiting for the perfect moment when the whole family's together, and I figured why not now?" My stomach dropped. He wouldn't. He absolutely would. Trevor got down on one knee right there, blocking Kyle from view. Half the parents started filming him instead of my son. "Amanda, will you marry me?" he asked, pulling out this massive ring. Amanda looked mortified. She kept glancing at Kyle, then at me, her face turning red. "Trevor, maybe we should say yes!" Someone's aunt yelled from the back. Kyle just stood there, staring at his cake with tears forming in his eyes. His best friend whispered something to him, and suddenly Kyle's face crumpled. He started crying, not loud sobs, but these quiet tears that somehow felt worse. His friend hugged him while everyone else was cheering for Trevor and Amanda. Jake put down his spatula and walked over to Kyle, kneeling beside him. "Hey, what's wrong?" "Nobody cares about my birthday," Kyle said, voice shaking. "They're all looking at Uncle Trevor." That did it. I marched over and stood between Trevor and the crowd. "Congratulations, that's wonderful," I said flatly. "Now can we please sing happy birthday to my son?" Trevor actually looked annoyed. "We'll do that right after." "No, now." I lit the candles and started singing. Jake joined immediately, then Kyle's friends, but half the adults were still crowded around Trevor and Amanda looking at the ring. We sang. Kyle blew out his candles while crying. The whole thing felt ruined. After cake, most of Kyle's friends went back to playing, but he just sat on the porch steps looking miserable. I sat next to him, and he leaned against me. "Why did Uncle Trevor do that?" he asked. I didn't have a good answer. Because Uncle Trevor doesn't think before he acts. Trevor came over later, grinning like nothing happened. "Hey Kyle, sorry about that, buddy, but you understand, right? This is a big moment for me and Amanda." Kyle just stared at him. "It was supposed to be my moment," Trevor laughed. "Come on, you'll have lots of birthdays." That's when Jake stepped in. "Trevor, you need to leave." "What? Dude, I just got engaged. And you did it at an 8-year-old's birthday party without asking. You made my son cry. Leave." Trevor acted all offended, but Amanda was already pulling him toward the door. She mouthed, "I'm sorry," to me as they left. The party continued, but the energy was off. Parents kept bringing it up, saying how romantic it was, how spontaneous. One mom even asked if I'd planned it with Trevor. I just smiled and said no. That night, Kyle asked if he could redo his birthday the next weekend, just our immediate family. We did. We went to the arcade, had pizza, and he got to feel special without anyone stealing his spotlight. He barely mentioned the first party again. Trevor texted me 3 days later asking why we weren't more excited about his engagement. I didn't respond. Jake sent him one message. "You made an 8-year-old cry at his own party. Think about that." Amanda called 2 weeks later. She apologized, said she had no idea he was planning that, and that she'd told him it was inappropriate. She seemed genuine. I told her I appreciated it, but that Trevor needed to be the one apologizing to Kyle. He never did. At Thanksgiving, Trevor acted like nothing happened and seemed confused why Kyle didn't want to sit near him.